Lunchtime, 2 Chronicles chapter 30. And Hiskiyahu sent to all Yisrael and Yehuda, and he also wrote letters to Ephraim and Manasseh to come to the house of Jehovah, as Yerushalayim, to perform the Pesach, to Jehovah Elohim of Yisrael. But the sovereign and his leaders, and all the assembly in Yerushalayim, had taken counsel to perform the Pesach in the second new moon, for they were unable to perform it at its time, because not enough priests had set themselves apart, and the people had not gathered at Yerushalayim. And the matter was right in the eyes of the sovereign and in the eyes of all the assembly. And they settled the matter to send a call to all Yisrael, from Beer-sheba to Dan, to come to perform the Pesach to Jehovah, Elohim of Yisrael at Yerushalayim, since they had not done it for a long time, as it is written. And the runners went to all Yisrael and Yehuda with the letters from the sovereign and his leaders, and spoke according to the command of the sovereign. Children of Yisrael, turn back to Jehovah, Elohim of Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yisrael, so that he returns to the remnant of you who have escaped from the land of the sovereign of Ashur. And do not be like your fathers and like your brothers, who trespassed against Jehovah, Elohim of their fathers, so that he gave them up to ruin, as you see. Now, do not stiffen your neck like your fathers. Stretch forth the hand to Jehovah, and come to his set-apart place, which he has set apart forever, and serve Jehovah your Elohim, so that his burning wrath turns away from you. For if you turn back to Jehovah, your brothers and your children shall be shown compassion by their captors, even to return to this land. For Jehovah your Elohim shows favor and compassion, and does not turn his face from you, if you turn back to him. And the runners passed from city to city throughout the land of Ephraim and Manasseh, as far as Zebulun, but they were laughing at them and mocking them. Some from Ashur and Manasseh and from Zebulun, however, humbled themselves and came to Yerushalayim. Also the hand of Elohim was on Yehuda, to give them one heart to do the command of the sovereign and the rulers at the word of Jehovah. And many people, a very great assembly, gathered at Yerushalayim to perform the festival of Matzah in the second new moon. And they rose up and removed the slaughter places that were in Yerushalayim, and they removed all the incense slaughter places and threw them into the Wadi Kidron. Then they slew the Pesach on the 14th day of the second new moon, and the priest and the Levites were ashamed, and set themselves apart, and brought the ascending offering to the house of Jehovah. And they stood in their place according to their right ruling, according to the Torah of Moshe, the man of Elohim. The priests sprinkled the blood from the hand of the Levites, for many in the assembly had not set themselves apart. Therefore the Levites were over the slaughter place of the Pesahim, for everyone who was not clean, to set them apart to Jehovah. For many of the people, many from Ephraim and Manasseh, Issachar and Zebulun, had not been cleansed, yet they ate the Pesach contrary to what was written. But Hiskiyahu prayed for them, saying, Jehovah, who is good, provide atonement for everyone who has prepared his heart to seek Elohim. Jehovah, Elohim of his fathers, though he is not cleansed according to the cleansing of the set-apart place. And Jehovah listened to Hiskiyahu and healed the people. And the children of Israel, who were in Yerushalayim, performed the festival of Matzah 7 days with great joy. And the Levites and the priest praised Jehovah day by day with instruments of praise before Jehovah. And Hiskiyahu spoke to the heart of all the Levites, those having good understanding concerning Jehovah. So they ate during the appointed time, 7 days, slaughterings of peace offerings, and making confession to Jehovah, Elohim of their fathers. And all the assembly took counsel to perform another 7 days, and they performed it another 7 days with joy, for Hiskiyahu, sovereign of Yehuda, presented to the assembly 1,000 bulls and 7,000 sheep, and the rulers presented to the assembly 1,000 bulls and 10,000 sheep, and a great number of priests set themselves apart. And all the assembly of Yehuda rejoiced, and the priests and Levites and all the assembly who had come from Israel, and the sojourners who came from the land of Israel, and those who dwelt in Yehuda. And there came to be a great joy in Yerushalayim, for since the days of Shlomo, son of David, the sovereign of Israel, the like of this had not been in Yerushalayim. And the priest, the Levites, rose and blessed the people, and their voice was heard, and their prayer came up to his set-apart dwelling place, to heaven.